Hi, I don't know much about ayahuasca, but I will share whatever I know about it. And the topic today are the icaros. What are the icaros actually and how do they work? The icaros are the songs that the shamans sing. Usually they start some 20 minutes after drinking ayahuasca. That's when the effects of the brew are felt after drinking. And most of the ayahuasca shamans are shipibos. They surely outnumber the shamans from other tribes that work with Westerners at least. Shipibos are a big tribe, and as a whole, the tribe of the Shipibos can't really um, be proud of a lot of cultural heritage in terms of arts or crafts or rituals. Their life is extremely simple and basic, and um, in, except ayahuasca, they hardly have much to show. Of course, ayahuasca is something very special. And one particular thing about the ayahuasca ceremonies is very remarkable in the Shipibo culture, and these are the icaros. I mean, they're sophisticated, they're extremely beautiful, they're just gorgeous. Cannot compare with anything else that the Shipibos have in terms of heritage. So, what are these songs? Well, historically, in the past, these were only chants, songs given by the spirits to the shamans. In the past, when one would get a shaman training, it would be usually about 7 years in isolation and strict dieting in the jungle. Um, Nowadays, that is of course very difficult to practice because the Shipibos have been a lot more modern actually. But those old shamans that got such proper training, it seems that much more many of them did really talk to the spirits, to the good spirits that help and teach how to cure. And they would actually they would be taught by the spirits themselves how to sing and what to sing and different melodies. Nowadays, however, not all the shamanic standards are much lower. Not all shamans do talk to the spirits. They know how to manipulate subtle energies to some extent. They know other things. But in terms of really communicating with spirits, not much. I mean, they will tell you that they do, but if you put them through simple tests, they will fail. Most of them, it's extremely rare that some of them will be able to tell things. I mean, if you ask them what can they tell you about you or somebody else, oh, they will say, yeah, sometimes headache and um, uneasiness in the stomach. But I mean, this is like almost all people have now and then some health problem, at least sometimes, and these are the most usual symptoms of any sickness. I mean, sometimes headache and sometimes uneasiness with the stomach. But if you have something, let's say a particular problem that they are working on, or a particular ailment that is rare and difficult to guess, they will not be able to guess. Also, they will tell you that, oh, this I can see in the visions that this person this thinks that and this and that, or said this and that, and it looks very real. But if you put them through a simple test, I mean, give them a photo and the name of absolutely unknown person, you will quickly find out that everything they tell you, it's absolutely random. I mean, there have been isolated cases of really old shamans that did tell me things that I think were not guesses, they were just too difficult to guess. So yeah, I'm not saying nobody's talking to the spirits, I'm just saying it's extremely rare nowadays. And back to our topic, the icaros. Now, as the times are changing and new styles of drinking ayahuasca are evolving, thanks to the white people who are coming here in Peru in great numbers for ayahuasca. Actually, many new types of icaros are getting introduced, like, for example, spiritual mantras from the East, which is something very good, I think, or actually any music that promotes harmony, beauty, and self-knowledge. I mean, classical, beautiful classical music, and all types of other music are also becoming icaros because they are used during ayahuasca ceremonies. I mean, in a broader sense, any beautiful music that is used during a ceremony is type of icaro nowadays. Oh, that was the easy part. Now the next one is a bit more difficult to put in words, and that is how exactly do the icaros work? I mean, to some people this seems strange. I mean, you sing a song and somebody gets cured. They can hardly believe it. Well, it works. It most definitely works. But how? Well, to explain the mechanism, we have to see that this is not a new idea just here. It is also present in other developed Asian civilization. Like, for example, I'm more familiar with yoga and the Vedic literature. Over there, chanting, conveying things through sound is also given great importance in the form of mantras. The icaros are kind of mantras, something very similar. Well, basically, this is a tool to manipulate the gross three-dimensional energy with the aid of subtle energy, kind of converting our thoughts into real three-dimensional things. Before I try to explain how exactly that happens, it's important to mention that it's not the only tool. I mean, there are shamans who use it in together with other tools, for example, blowing smoke and doing different things with feathers or their hands or things like that. And yet other shamans, they don't even sing at all. They just do other things to shift the subtle energies. And now back to the question, how is it possible that you have a thought, and with that thought, or let's say subtle belief or something on the astral plane, and with that you influence the objects that we call real in the two-dimensional space around us. Well, to understand that, I will try to convey the Vedic, the yoga explanation of things. I mean, it works for all particles of matter. Even doesn't matter if the particles are in India or in Peru. The same laws of nature apply everywhere. The first thing to understand is how matter appeared at all. I mean, it evolved from other more subtle energies which existed before matter. This is again the Vedic explanation of things. It's not my personal opinion. So since the gross material elements have evolved from the subtle ones, they are inferior to the subtle ones, and the astral plane actually governs this gross material plane. And again, I will come back to what I repeat in every video of this Ayahuasca Basics playlist, and that the most important thing that Ayahuasca have ever taught me is that we create the reality around us with our thoughts and beliefs. The things that happen to us by chance, so-called by chance, are not by chance at all. They are created by our thoughts. And again, back to the icaros, one of the most powerful and important ways by which the actual change of, thoughts turning into matter one of the most powerful tools and methods, that is the sound. That is why mantras are given so much importance in spiritual practices of the East. Sound conveys changes, matter in many ways. Also, there are good reasons to believe that sound has been used by the advanced Asian civilizations to shift huge pieces of stone and build monuments that we cannot, our so-called advanced civilization now cannot build still. So that is how powerful sound can be, and there is no wonder that the shamans use it for healing and purification.
Well, I'll try to elaborate a bit more on how subtle ideas, thoughts, and beliefs can turn into tangible matter via the medium of sound. Seth in the Seth Speaks books of Jane Roberts explains it in this way. The so-called tangible and truly real objects around us, like, let's say, chairs, tables, planets, and so on, they seem kind of made of hard matter. And the illusion of this is created by the fact that when we touch them, we cannot go through. It seems there is really something there. But he goes on explaining that when we look at the actual substance that they're made of, we will find out that it's not all 100% solid. It's actually mostly air and small particles. And when we look further into these small particles, we eventually will find out that they, in their turn, are not made of anything solid at all. They are made of another type of even smaller particles. And it will go like this infinitely. And we can say that the modern scientific research has only confirmed this opinion this far. And he goes on to say that we can go like this deeper and deeper, and we will never find anything absolutely solid and tangible. We will only find particles, and at the end the smallest one will have electromagnetic nature. So eventually everything is made, everything has electromagnetic nature, all these tangible objects around us. And thoughts themselves, thoughts and ideas, also have electromagnetic nature. This has been proven recently by a large number of scientific research projects. Also, a great number of scientific tests have been carried out, and it has been proven over and over again that thoughts can influence matter. Just one out of the many in this regard are few independent teams of scientists from different parts of the world have researched the effect of human consciousness and ideas on water. I mean, when water is in the vicinity of different type of people or different type of music, or music is even closer to our topic, the icaros. I mean, the water particles become different. Or, for example, same water from the same glass is given to different kind of people, to different members of a scientific team to make photos of the smallest particles. And although the water comes from the same glass, the pictures of each individual are different. Then they give them another type of water. And amazingly enough, again, although the water is different, the picture that each individual takes seems to be very similar to the one he previously took of a different kind of water, which proves that actually the water picks up some of the consciousness vibrations of the person who is taking photos of it, the person who is near it. Well, I hope this has clarified to some degree how ideas and desires, prayers can affect the so-called real tangible world around us. Although here I can mention that some local tribes actually don't think this world we see around us here is the real one. They think the real one can be seen only through ayahuasca or other similar plants. There are many, San Pedro, Iboga, etc. And if now after all these explanations, if I need to say again what are the icaros and how can they cure somebody or affect somebody, well, there are one of the most convenient ways to turn your idea into a real situation around us. Why one of the easiest ways? I mean, it's obvious. Sound is one of the easiest way to send an energy to the person next to you. I mean, you speak and it reaches the person immediately. Well, hope this has shed some light on how the icaros work and what the icaros are. And the rest of this video will be a small compilation of Shipibo icaros. Thank you for listening.
pe hay sa ma cứ yo ni ngay sa ma cứ yo ni o an te la ga ta sa ma o ma ne ta pe ko bu kin da pe ko bu kin da ma to pe ko bu ta me go ba ke ba wa ga no ma bu ke ga no ma bu sha ma ke yo ra sa na bu ke sa na bu ke sa na ke ma no yo ra te vi a ma ba ka no bu pi ya a ga ta to ta ko pu ma yo vai ke ma yo vai ke ma yo vai ke ma no yo ra pon te ke shi na ya bi pon te ke ma no wo i bu ya bi pon te e da e ka e pon te e da e ka e e da e ka e pon te e da e no a de bi ka ya ka aya wa ta sa ma bi mu ka ya i ko bi no ka e ka na e ya ya ma ka na e ya ya ma ka e zo ba e ke so a bo ke pon te shi na ya bi pon te ma to pon te so ni da pon te so ni da ba no di o no ma to wa yo ra sa ma ti ma yo wai ki ma yo wai ma yo wai ki to ki ma yo wai ki to ki ma yo ke ki mi ga su ni wa bi man do da mi ti ma yo ki de ki mi ga na mi di ko se na bu ka na ka i ka ka i ne vi ka ya ka hi mi ka yong pa o te pa o yo di wa ta na ka mu da yan ni ku mu ra yan ni song mu ra yan song an ga da ram pa ti da ma do a pa no na su ni vi no we wa ka no ka no ya vi ka no ya vi mu do ma yo pa so ma do yo da ti vi ka no ma yo pa ti ka no ma yo pa ti ma yo pa ti ma yo pa ti ka no ma yo ka no ma yo pa ti ko ye sa na ba ko ye sa
ba ta na be ja ba so ke a bo ba no honey yo ra ma ba be ja yo de ba so da so wa bo wa so wa ba sama mưa bị cho rồi cơ bay so yo ra bị cho ra ba ka ke ra ke yo ra pa ya bui ra ba ke si we ba ga medicina na medicina ma bi ra ke ra ba wai ra mưa bù cái ro bo ba no chỉ cần có mà ya tay bo ne bo to ta bi ra so a bo ai ko yo ba ke ko yo bo dai ko yo kin ke so a ba ke ra mưa bồ yo tri ba ta I was medicine, I was one Rani